James here with Penner Trailer Sales. Today I want to talk about the road grader, also called a land plane. We're going to demonstrate it, talk about some tips and tricks of how to use this. So the way a road grader works, you have your side plates that slide on the ground, and then there's two cutter bars. You'll see that they have a slight angle to them, and they both will cut. So you want to have it adjusted so that when it slides on the ground, it's sitting pretty flat. And as you're using it, you might have to dial it in a little bit. You'll adjust it with the top link. That'll change the angle. And the angle that you're shooting for is that both cutter bars will cut. And you'll see, we'll demonstrate this in a bit, but this will cut, this will fill up with material. It'll flow over and kind of get tumbled in here and fill up here and flow over the back as well. I like the road grader because one thing it does do, and you'll see this in a minute, as that material is kind of flowing and being tumbled, it's bringing the rocks to the top. Whereas a box blade doesn't really give that mixing function quite the same as what this does, so that when the gravel flows out the back, you'll see it leaves a pretty nice finish behind it with very little effort from the operator. You'll see also that it's equipped with ripper shanks on the front. Most land planes will have these as well. You'll use these if you're trying to level a yard or you're working soil. You can drop these shanks, they've got adjustable holes here to be able to engage and break up the soil so then it's loose and be able to flow over the cutter bar, same as the gravel would. Today we're going to be demonstrating on the gravel, so we will have these adjusted up, we won't be using these. Another adjustment to pay attention to is if your tractor is equipped with an adjustable lift arm on one side, and oftentimes they are, it's fairly common, you can adjust the level that this land plane is carried. Now for the most part, as long as it's close, when you pick it up and it's off a little bit, but it's fairly close, it'll be fine, because when you set it on the ground, you're going to be taking your lift arm control lever all the way to the bottom so that it can ride and float on the ground. And when you do that, if it's, like I said, as long as it's close, it'll ride flat on the ground. You can, however, and I'll also demonstrate this, use this as an adjustment to hold the land plane at an angle to be able to crown your driveway as well. We'll be showing you that in a minute also. So right now I'm getting this adjusted. I mentioned we're using the top link earlier. I can see already that only the back cutting blade is filling up with gravel and the front isn't actually cutting into the ground or cutting into the gravel at all. So I'm going to need to adjust this, change the angle to bring that front down a bit. And we'll see, we'll try it again, give it a couple of feet, see if both are cutting into the gravel yet or not. It looks like now we are. We could use a little bit more angle in the front, I think, because I like to cut heavier in the front, on the front blade in the back. So I need to go this way. And now I'll set this lock nut here, because if you don't, with the vibrations dragging on the gravel, this will come out of adjustment. Another thing I like to keep in mind, and just as a bit of a tip to pass on to you, since these cutter bars are on a slight angle, as the gravel flows over, it'll slightly favor this left-hand side. So in order to contribute towards the crown in the driveway, I'll keep this left-hand side more in the center and keep the right-hand side more on the outside of the driveway as I go out. Now I'm going to adjust the lift arm here so that the grader is held at an angle and I can demonstrate pulling the gravel in from the edge, kind of cutting the edge of the driveway. Oftentimes with a gravel driveway, the gravel just keeps getting pushed to the outside, and this helps pull some of that back into the roadway. So we'll start here by loosening the lock nut on my lift arm. Now I've lengthened the adjustable link here on the lift arm so that the right side of the road grader is being carried lower. You can see this road grader is now being held at an angle. With a gravel driveway, one of the things that happens with gravel is it keeps getting pushed to the outside. And so with holding this road grader at an angle to be able to pick that gravel up, and a little bit of an angle that we have in the cutter bars, it'll tend to pick that gravel up and roll it and carry it to the inside. So there's a brief demonstration of how I use the road grader. Hopefully that's helpful to you. If you get any questions or you'd like to purchase one for yourself, give us a call at Penner Trailer Sales, 931-361-1122.